Hey guys, so yeah, this was definitely a very interesting chapter in order to read of My Hero Academia because well, pretty much continuing the pattern like theme from last week's chapter. This one pretty much starts off strong with on a very cold open with pretty much Redestro attacking the safety commission, and it's yet again another indication about how moment by moment the structure of the Hero Society is coming to a very swift end. It's being like Hero Society, everything that's made up Hero Society is being dismantled right in front of our eyes. And from here, it's really when you really look at what's happening to Hero Society right now, it's really fallen in the hands of the current generation of heroes, like Class 1A, like Class 1B, every like hero student and hero hopeful we've met up to this point. It's up to them in order to choose how Prince Hero Society gets rebuilt. And I know I've said this a tiresome amount of times, but I can more, let's just say right now in this moment, I can more clearly see the groundwork that Horikoshi is setting with this chapter for a proper time skip. Because not only is everyone starting from scratch now, and everyone is trying to move forward in their own ways, but is trying to decide how to move forward in their own way, including the villains. But if you really, but with also what happened in this chapter, I think the hero school system, or at least UA, probably isn't going to survive past this chapter because it was one thing because when you look at when because with UA, one of the constant things has been them trying to, in order to reassure the public that yeah, everything's safe, everything is secure for students. And it was in the moment, it was one thing in that moment for after All Might retired in order for them to reassure. But now with the reveal of Aizawa having lost his leg, that's going to crush even more confidence in Yui's ability in order to function as a hero school. And the thing, I don't know if prosthetic limbs are a thing in My Hero Academia, but and so if it is, like, obviously he can get a replacement for his leg, but even if he does get a prosthetic leg, I don't see a happy ending like Prince Shujo for when it comes to UA here, especially since it's been a constant, especially again since it's been a constant thing of them trying to reassure the public that everything's safe and secure, with us, and especially but the thing is with the media reaction you see in this chapter, that shit is not going to work this time around. Everything is everything is being torn down. Everything is torn to shit. Like there is there's really no matter of reassurance anymore that UA can really function as a proper school when it comes to safety of the students, or even just safety of the hero society as a whole. So, and if you'll notice, so in a lot of ways, what's happening is the facade of being the best hero school is basically is crumbling as well, and what's going on is kind of the but in this chapter specifically, it's the ultimate rebuke, obviously because of what happened to Aizawa. But if you'll notice, there are certain UA students that Horikoshi hasn't shown for a while, including one Denki Kaminari. And while I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's going to that Horikoshi's going to kill any of the students. I think that some of the students have suffered severe injuries. So yeah, in that sense, it's the ultimate rebuke of everything that UA has tried to say about keeping its students safe. Like pretty much none of that is true. That they cannot defend anything that they've said previously about like safety or security. Like UA, I think, is done. Honestly, it's really done. Um, and yeah, obviously we have to talk about the end of this chapter where Izuku is in a sort of a comatose kind of state. And obviously with Izuku, he's not going to be out of the game permanently, but it might still be for a while before he wakes up, because because the thing about the last page pretty much has all the markings that Izuku's going to be that majority of what's going to happen probably next chapter and for a couple chapters from now. I think what we're going to see is from Izuku like from communing with his predecessors and probably training with them and whatnot. So in that sense, the chapter has all the markings that Izuku's post time skip training is already starting now, because as we know, part of Izuku's growth has always been how he mentally taps into the power of one for all. So I imagine what's going to happen on that front is we're going to at least see we're going to see Izuku on we're gonna see Izuku being at least set on his post time skip path. I don't know if he's gonna remain entirely comatose for the entire time skip. I don't think so, but I think but by pretty much having a communion with the other predecessors, it's probably going to set him on the path of a post time skip journey, I think. What concerns me, however, is what's going to happen what's going to happen while that's going on and while he's comatose and communing with his predecessors, because I think it goes without saying that there are certain students within Class 1A that are definitely going to start asking the questions they can't ignore anymore, and if they'll be and the thing is if they'll be unable to ask Izuku those questions that they've kind of kept to themselves, then they'll just end up asking All Might himself, and at that point, All Might cannot keep this any question that someone like Ochiko or Ida or Shoto might have. All Might has an obligation in order to answer truthfully to those questions. He cannot he pretty much cannot keep any of this shit secret anymore. Again, that's all assuming that certain students like Ochiko and Ida and end up starting asking questions in regards to Izuku. It is. I think at this point, but I think at this point it is kind of the inevitability that All Might is going to have some things he needs to answer for to pretty much Class 1A, I think. Speaking of secrets, though, who the hell is that shadowed figure that's supposedly visiting? Who's supposedly visiting pretty much Shoto alongside his brother and sister, because judging from Shoto's reaction, the pretty much person who's basically visiting alongside Fuyumi and Natsu, it's someone he knows. Just from his reaction, I can tell that the shadowed figure who's with Fuyumi and Natsu, it's someone he knows for sure. And I maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I do find it rather peculiar that this shadowy person, the silhouette of a person, shows up around the same time that Shoto's thinking about taking on the burden of dealing with Toya in place of Endeavor. So unless Horikoshi's doing a complete reversal on who Toya actually is, which I'm hoping that's not the case, because then that would pretty much discredit any kind of emotional weight between Shoto and Dabi. But if that isn't the case, that the shadow person is actually Toya, then I'm putting my chips on that being another family member. So that either means it's his mom, or it's someone else within the Todoroki family we haven't seen, like a grandparent or another. Or like a grandparent or something. Another possibility is that Natsu and Fuyumi knew instinctively what from Shoto would be thinking in the moment after the war, and probably contacted someone who can help Shoto. But looking at the silhouette more objectively, I am going for a family member route, only because the little bits of hair detail I see on the silhouette do kind of have that Todoroki trademark style to it. But in either case, I feel that the silhouette of the person we see is someone that from Shinatsu and Fuyumi are hoping will help ease the burden on Shoto's mind, because it's obviously that Shoto, he's kind of got a little bit of a he kind of feels a little bit of a weight and pressure in that and responsibility in order to stop his brother. So I think either way, whoever that is, it's going to be someone who is going to help ease the burden on Shoto's mind, I think. And maybe even someone who can possibly like train him and help him and whatnot. Um, Now, on the villain side of things, I can honestly see Spinner reaching a point where he decides to completely either defect, where he decides to completely defect from the League of Villains in some way, or at least the League of Villains in its current form. Because the more and more his sense of morality is being shown to us, the more you can see that what he's thinking and how you can more and more you can see what he's thinking and how he's realizing what's going on now isn't necessarily what he signed up for, and even more so, whatever is left of Shigaraki isn't really there anymore. Even though it's Shigaraki's body, the person who Shigaraki has been consumed by pretty much All for One's influence. So this is either going to put Spinner on the path of defecting and beg the heroes to stop and basically stop what pretty much Shigaraki has become, or he's going to be working behind the scenes and in more subtle ways in order to find a means by which in order to free Shigaraki from All for One's control. But either way, I think Spinner is going to be going on his own for a bit. Like, he's going to be doing his own thing, I think, behind the scenes from this point on. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and other control. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.